So let me walk you through what I have prepared for you. So it's fairly technical. So my next question is like, who of you actually has access to your websites and does anything with any technical aspect in your business? You can raise hands. That's very good. Who had Googled themselves in a recent time? Oh, yeah. Who had used AI, any of the agents, any of the, to talk to about your firm or your personal brand to see what comes up?
Yeah.
More than Google. Interesting. So what are we going to be talking about is like change in behavior and why it is important to think about how we are presented or how we are recommended by AI, because now it's search with AI, so AI is everywhere. Number of you said, oh, we use Canva and AI in Canva, or CRM with AI. So it's everywhere. However, our clients and prospects are asking questions, and they are asking questions now in a different way. So like, I will leave you to read statistics here. I will be continue talking because slides are supporting material, not the main material. So clients have conversations with their AI. They rely on recommendations. So the search behavior now changed from blue links era, when you ask Google and then go click. Sometimes people don't click at all. So what you would notice is that your traffic might have dropped. And it's not because your SEO is poor or that your content is not good, but it's because when people go to their preferred search engine, they find all the information they need and they don't need to click. Same applies to ChatGPT or Perplexity. They ask the questions and all you have to care about is if you came up in a summary. And it's only later they have, like when they have more questions, they might go to your website or to your LinkedIn profile or whatever directory they choose to contact you. So this is where actually the shift has to happen, where we think not only CEO and which terms to use in our content, but how to introduce our story so AI understands it and use it in its summaries and recommendations. So because people make decisions before they click on your website. So I will be talking through a few technical aspects. And if you're not related to that in your organization, like you do not have access to Search Console, or you do not manage your wiki pages, or I do recommend to talk to a person who does and ask them questions, because that will help them and your organization or your personal brand to improve. So don't get overwhelmed with something which you don't do currently or you don't know. Use this information more as okay, we should think about it, or it's something to ask about. So if you go through the slide, nothing really new. I'm sure that you have heard all of this before AI came up. And as we were talking about SEO, as we were talking about content marketing, nothing is new. However, I will show you a little bit of different perspective on this. So relevance and completeness. So we talk about how AI decides about recommending us or summarizing our content. These are 4 aspects which we have to think about now when we write anything. So relevance and completeness, answer for questions, anticipate follow-ups. So you have to think about like, okay, do you remember if you ever went to these webinars when they said, oh, if you're doing your SEO optimization, go to Reddit or Quora and see how people are asking questions and what they answer and base your content on that. This is very similar, but you have to be more complete in your answer. So if you're answering something like how to find a job in fintech, or how to prepare myself for the interview, or how recruiters can find my event, or how candidates can do something, you have to think to give them a complete answer. So then the AI agent actually can crawl to it and say, this is useful. So you have to, you think now how useful your answer, how useful your content is, not only for the imaginary person, or not so imaginary person, which is your audience, and the AI, so they come in pair now. So before, for me, doing things for search engines also always felt so artificial. I always felt very stiff when I had to optimize my content for SEO, putting those keywords everywhere in every paragraph. That felt so unnatural. But now, shifting to AI, it makes it more humanized, because whilst you want to be relevant to AI, actually, it is to people who are asking this question. Credibility and authority, cite sources, show credentials, and trusted mentions. So whilst this presentation is called AI search, I would like to reframe it, and probably in my next webinars, or I will do AI credibility. Because whoever uses any AI, they always cite something. They say, this organization, Gartner said 64% do X, Y, Z. This is credibility. This is authority. So I want you to think about, in your organization, in your content, which sources you use reliably. Make 5. You don't have to use a library of sources, but actually bring in your content some sources which you trust, which are trusted by your audience, which actually do often update their research or their quotes and stuff, and use them. Because it's not your doctoral or thesis where you have to cite everything. However, if you use, because AI will know where you found it. They're too smart. So use to show your own expertise, because you show your opinion, and then you say, and also I found it here. Completeness, coming back to relevance and completeness with authority. And this is how you do your authority signals to AI. Because everything, we talk about search, but actually how AI decides that you are credible.
So with credibility, is it better to quote a stat from Gartner than a stat from your own research? Because your own research may not have the same credibility as Gartner.
Over time, actually, your own credibility matters.
Right.
Because if you use your own research and you use it fresh, you use it often, you have relevant sources, you conducted this research and stuff, and you utilize it, it is as valid.
And if it's part of an annual report every single year, eventually over time, you'll get that credibility.
Very, very much so. Because basically, if your content structured, we will go into that a little bit further on the way. If your content is structured in such a way where AI says, it's fresh, it's relevant, it's contemporary, I actually can use it, because context matters. They will actually recommend you.
Yeah.
Because again, they do not go to only one source. So they go throughout sources and they summarize. So think about the internet is now a big funnel. And where are you in that funnel? And how consistent are you with your posting? So I would actually go back to your marketing teams and say, okay, what are we posting? What is our story? What do we want? What questions are we answering? And what questions people are asking that we want to be summarized for? Who are the credible sources? If we are the credible source, okay, great. Pull up all the credible research, all the materials we had, make them recent, update them, and use them. So you have a lot of power within your organizations with the content which you already have. You do not have to do massive audits. You can do one at a time. Pick one vertical which you want to promote in the next 90 days and work with that. You don't have to do the new website, new me, new year, new me. No, do one thing and start over. Because remember, all these agents, they update themselves on a regular basis. And they will, if you haven't done much in the past and you will start doing things consistently now, they will learn that you improved. So you do not have to rewrite your story. You just can start over. Yes?
Does it matter how many people within your organization are posting those credibility and authoritative statements. So let's say as a business, we have like one blog post that's going out, we post it on LinkedIn. Does the LLM look at how many people have posted that up, or will it just look at its insight?
Volume doesn't matter. Volume doesn't matter. Consistency matters. Credibility matters. And like there is whole big volume. So they go through what is most relevant. So what I would talk to, like if you have many people, you have to be aligned in the story you tell. Or if you have multiple verticals, you have to basically create a story for each vertical. So it's kind of like its own story, its own thing. Because like a lot of and even my clients, they're all over the place, not because they're bad clients or they have bad content. It is because they want everybody to read everything. Right? It's a very good desire. Like, I wish that it could come true. But unfortunately, everything online, everything in AI is structured. It is basically lines, and you have to conform. Again, cross-verification. You can cross-verify with external sources or with your own sources. There is a prompt for you to go and take most valuable content that you have and repurpose it, refresh it, and make it work for you. Also, don't be afraid to get rid of stuff. If something is not aligning and you wrote it or somebody wrote it a year ago, put it on pause. You don't have to delete it, but you can put it into drafts and bring it back when it's relevant again. Because like somebody's pride is less important than your results and actually conversations with your prospects, with your candidates, with your clients. So I went through several steps of what you can take to actually improve your search visibility or search credibility. So some of these are fairly technical. I'll try to run through them. If something you can't do, just make a note to talk to a relevant person in your team to help you. So secure high quality backlinks, publish research, encourage genuine reviews. Like backlink story is something which annoys me in marketing forever. Backlinks, it's something which you cite on your website or in your stories, and you really want to be cited on somebody else's resource, like on the website. So if my company was cited on Gartner, I would probably drink champagne all day, starting from the morning, without adding orange juice or anything. So backlinks matter. However, if not to overcomplicate, it is you can make alliances within your immediate group with the suppliers, with fellow firms to mention each other, to improve your credibility. It doesn't have to be overcomplicated. All you have blogs, all you have access to your content, just make a pact. So this is the easiest way to go around actually the backlinks, because when CTIM would mention you, well, good luck, or Gartner in my case, my secret goal, yeah, you work towards that. It should not stop you. And paralysis by analysis, if I'm not on BBC, then basically life doesn't matter. It's not true. Small things, small steps matter. Increase brand reviews, webinars, podcasts. Again, this is just content that you have to think about when you do your content plan. It's how and where I'm going to share my expertise in a way that it's valued by the people. So that's webinar, basically, how do I interact with my audience? So basically, you have to shift from I'm writing from the sake of writing, just for search engines to think I'm relevant, to actually showcase your expertise in life. So standardized entity profile. I put it here to bring your attention to it. Update everywhere, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your TikTok, about yourself, about the company, anywhere, all the directors, do the audit. If you can't do it, ask your assistant to do it. Say where are we mentioned and what is our bio? The number one task, if you do that for your organization or your assistant, whoever works for you, will do that. It's just Google. And in the Word doc, copy paste everywhere, how are you mentioned? And the task number 2, use your favorite AI, rewrite it, and publish it everywhere so it is consistent. And if things change, you added the vertical, you decided to expand, update it. So keep that file, make it very, very updated, up to date. So this is the structured fact-dense content. So then again, this is how you engage. This is like something where I have to say it, I am not as consistent as I would like to be. But I now started encouraging me and my team, and I do encourage you and your teams to do it not every other day. You can go online and find 5 relevant sources when conversations about your topics are, and just contribute valuable answer. Because like, then AI sees job logs at that on that forum. It matters, and it all aligns together to add to your credibility, your authority signal with AI. Same matters on LinkedIn, same matters anywhere where your clients, candidates, prospects congregate. Yeah. Citations and statistics. Again, you can quote your own, you can come up with. You do not have to do all at once. You can do 1 week one thing, another, like just as you do it consistently. Then what AI sees, same as search engines, is like you are consistent. You do things regularly. That adds to your credibility. That amplifies your value in search results or summaries for the AI. How to make markups. Again, there are so many FAQs. FAQs on every page. Go through your page and say like, do people really ask that? Do they do that? Or we have it just as a placeholder because it was nice to look at when somebody designed it, or whoever designed it, like, was it 10 years ago? So answer actual questions which people ask. If you don't have questions which people ask, go to ChatGPT and ask them to research what would be the most relevant question to ask, so you position yourself as an expert. And it's not like how to find my office. That's irrelevant. But it's like, how can I find somebody a good job? Like how will a recruiter work with me? These are questions which candidates would really want to know. Like, if I submit my CV, will somebody see it soon? Or reply to me ever? So maybe something like this. I do not suggest you what to put on your websites. Use your own kind of things. Please take care of it because it matters. So, technical bit. If you do not do it yourself, talk to people. Again, if you're not doing it, you want to find that person in the organization who does it. What the Search Console does, it helps the Google and other search agents to crawl and index. So basically and what happens, like, whenever you post content on your website, so it actually, these two live together, they're friends, they hold hands. When you post something on your website, it's not immediately indexed. You post it, and maybe once in a blue moon, the crawler will come, and if you have a structured data and you're a good website and everything is tip-top, it will find your information. But if any of the things are not done, it may never happen. So this is how, when you posted something super authoritative and you're very happy with yourself, and you Google it and it's not there, even if you put it as copy paste your title, it is because it's not indexed. However, if you have a plugin or like feature to, for instance, it's SEO plugins do it. For instant indexing, as soon as you're happy, it was approved, you press publish, index it. Or if you don't have a plugin, manually go to your best friend after ChatGPT, to your friend, Search Console, and do that. So the LLMS TXT, it is more complex thing to do. It is not difficult. Now tools also talk to your tech guy to implement it, so your site is AI crawlable. So next time when ChatGPT is updated, or Claude, or whatever is updated to the new version of internet, your website definitely can get there. They have plugins for it as well. It doesn't have to be difficult. It looks difficult because you don't know how to do it. So ensure critical text is in raw HTML. What does it mean? When you publish your content, publish text. So now with all this flashy website, also AI-generated posts to make everything look good. a lot of CSS happens, a lot of JavaScript. So everything which looks pretty online has a CSS. That's basically how I describe it in very simplified terms. So your text has to remain text. It doesn't have to be a part of a beautiful structure. So critical, like I'll give you example on your post and on your page. So for example, in your blog post, I would do everything to actually keep it as a featured image and text and all the credentials of the blog. If you want something pretty, put your banner on the middle or on the bottom or like as a media. And the general CSS of the website too. Does everybody understand what I'm describing? Because the picture is very beautiful in my head. When you build websites or when your IT team or whoever web designers update your website and they put these wonderful blocks and a nice everything and everything moves, it's lovely. But then ensure that, for example, about us text is somewhere on the bottom. It doesn't have to be very much on the top. If you create text for the SEO or for the AI crawlers, you can do 2 columns simple on the bottom. It will not take away from the design, but it is text. It will be indexed better and faster. And then you go to your best friend. Don't touch it, please, so you have a new best friend. Search engine, and you like basically optimize everything. Again, you make updates on your website, index it to make things faster and better for you. So this is a distribution, like this is nothing new. If you publish constantly, like continuously, consistently, make the story make sense. So if you have many people in your team or you have multiple departments, it is your sign to get together and talk about it. Like maybe without wine, and do not like bring your like emotional dramas into it. Just talk about what we publish, what story do you want to tell, what one thing we can improve over the next 90 days. So everybody is aligned and everybody is doing basically good for your presence online and for your online credibility and search appearance. So basically publishing on your website, encourage community discussions. So basically opening comments, moderate that. Being in relevant places. If you don't allow comments and like discussions on your website, it's fine. You don't have to. Find a place which is public and crawlable by the internet crawlers where actually your answers matter. So probably not LinkedIn debate, but Reddit would be do, or some directory listing where they actually actively discuss something and show your expertise there, because it will be together with your website and your other presence, it will build your credibility. So think about all of these little steps you take. They are not time wasters or like you make yourself look busy. It is actually you sending your authority signals and they are being received on a regular basis. Repurpose into multiple formats. So on top of that advice I told you 5 slides ago, where you can remove the old data, remove anything which is not good right now, like put it in a folder, don't forget about it, maybe it will be useful soon. But repurpose. You wrote a beautiful report, you wrote a beautiful blog, nice. Like convert it into carousel. Put it somewhere like, oh, have you seen it? Submit it to like, to Puzzle. There are all sorts, and like talk to UpSchool. Like say like, hi guys, can you mention us? We'll mention you. See backlink.
As long as you remember.
So yeah, like how you do that, like I'll leave it to you. So, and maintain freshness. Again, if you have fewer pieces of content, but you do it consistently and you work with your content, that actually matters more than the volume. So if it means that you will go from publishing every day to publishing every other day, but you work with your content and everything tells the same story, and then you go down of the bottom, like to the latest, like to the old posts, and kind of link them back to new and like create a story that is meaningful. Again, think about it as one of the things you have to do. This is not the main thing, but it's good to have it. And like basically evaluate things and look at analytics to see what works best for you. So this is a snapshot of what I just said.
So much. Thank you. Sorry. And what I wanted to do, and just to give you background, like Larysa is probably the most technically competent person I know on digital marketing.